The constitution, the new club constitution, is done. Brett has reworked it. Bertie and myself is busy putting it on the website. It will be on the website published in this week, and it will take effect from the 1st of December. It has changed quite a lot. Brett has brought in a lot of beautiful words. I am blown away by what he's done. He's done an amazing job. I think the CannaClub has got hands down the best constitution that I've ever read, especially for our industry. Brett, he's done an amazing job there. It's high level English. For myself, also I have to Google some of the words because I don't understand them. But it's beautiful. I like the structure. It's just amazing.
Let's talk about the club a little bit. Can you tell our viewers how the legal structure and model of the club works?
Okay, I thought it was a quick question. Yeah, it's a question we often get, and what's the model of the club? You know, for me personally, there's a lot of talk about grow clubs and things like that, and for me personally, that can mean anything. What is a grow club? You know, it can mean anything. So, first of all, we do not identify the grow club. We're not a grow club.
Okay.
The CannaClub has never been a grow club.
Right.
If you look at what our first priority is, we're a stokvel.
A stokvel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, what is a stokvel? A stokvel is a saving scheme in South Africa. You can register it. There's a stokvel association, and there are also some key factors that you must abide to, like you must be a non-profit organization, you must have certain things in structure, members collectively pool their funds to achieve a certain goal.
Right.
You see, and there's a structure in which you use, and this is prescribed by the Stokvel Association of South Africa.
Okay, so where does cannabis fit into that?
A stokvel can be anything. It can be any way of doing things together. Can be, we can have the strawberry stokvel, you know.
Right.
It can be any way, any saving scheme.
We can grow nuts together, or we can
be anything
cultivate
that we
chickens
do
together.
with a collective purpose.
All right.
You know, in our instance, medicate, educate, inspire, cultivate, and have access to recreational and medicinal cannabis. Right. In a safe environment, non-judgmental environment, you see, where we attempt to do those four goals.
Yes, and that applies to our basic human rights, where we have the right to consume and cultivate cannabis in private. So I assume that just is on a collective level.
So in South Africa, over and above stokvels, what's different in South Africa than most other countries is the privacy bill, where the Concord, which is our highest court, constitutional court, it found that what you do in your private space, you can cultivate, consume, use, process cannabis in your private space. It's the only country in the world that allows that.
Okay.
You see. So what the CannaClub, the founding of the CannaClub, first of all, is we're a stokvel. And then secondly, at the time when the CannaClub was founded, there weren't any models or things we could subscribe to.
Okay.
So we just looked at what was available internationally already. And what was available internationally already was NCOD-based club. NCOD are falsely referred to as the Spanish clubs because some Spanish clubs had been raided. But if you really look at the history of NCOD was, the movement started in the United States during Prohibition as a legal way for members to cultivate and consume cannabis. From there on, it went to Europe. In the end, 14 NGOs got together with international drug authorities, and brought together a manifesto for handling drugs, not only cannabis, but a lot of other things.
Okay.
And so the NCOD manifesto came together, and based on this NCOD manifesto, which was registered, I think, in 2004 already. So it is the European Coalition for Just and Effective Drug Policies. Many hundreds of organizations have joined. And today there are hundreds of NCOD-based cannabis clubs, especially in Europe, you know.
Okay.
And so we looked towards that model and took it to South Africa. We're not NCOD registered because South Africa has certain things that we felt are different. And one was the privacy base or our legal scenario, and also the stokvel scenario, which the two is different than anywhere else in the world. And then thirdly, we have a social responsibility, a huge one, in terms of redressing the imbalances of the past. How are we going to give communities access to high-value, small-scale farming? And I'm not just talking about cannabis.
Exactly, yeah.
Here in our Western Cape, we have more than 25 highly valuable medicinal plants. And if they could be dried and cured and exported to like China and India and so forth, they're more valuable than cannabis.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So it's about small scale, high value.
That is what communities have access to, have skills to. You know, you can't do.
So you work cannabis into that because cannabis is already like in South Africa. There's so many people that cultivate this resource, and we've got the knowledge and the exact climate for that.
Exactly.
Okay, so you want to.
The African sun and earth is ideally suited for cannabis and for many other high-value, small-scale farming. Yes.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's not only in plants, there's more things getting into that, like fish and snails and a lot of other things.
Yeah, we've got a snail farm right next door.
Yes. And these things are what needs to go to communities. This is what can free up communities.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, that's empowering.
So coming back to the model we follow. First, we're a stokvel. Secondly, we're an NCOD-based club. What does that mean? It means we're a non-profit organization. It means that everything is done on one premises, on one location. So we cultivate, we harvest, we dry, we trim and cure, trim and manicure, we cure, we professionally package, seal and package, and we present at the CannaClub. And that is all done, all of that is done under a grower's mandate. And the grower's mandate defines what the costs may be for organic outdoor, for this, for all of that.
Right.
So that's how the club functions. NCOD based, no dealers, no franchises, no off-site anything, everything happens on-site. And members reimburse us for plant management fees only if they're satisfied with what we've done and if they wish to withdraw from the stokvel, and then finally if it is at the grower's mandate as defined by the Constitution. In other words, the price we determined before the time, which would be an ideal price for an organic sun-grown product or an organic greenhouse product, or maybe even a salt-based hydro product, you know, whatever.
Right. And to put the focus where that fits into the structure is the plant management fees doesn't go for the plant, or it doesn't go towards the club. The club functions as a non-profit, which then distributes that towards its several service providers. Is that correct? Such as the Sister Sisters and Black Joint.
I'm not a specialist in this field, but if I can put down how I see it and how we've always been agreeing on it. Mm-hmm. The club itself, through its executive committee, is appointed by the principal, which is the member, as an agent to obtain high-value, strain-specific, organic cannabis, flower at the plant management fees. Mm-hmm. So that's the contract between us and the club, and the principal will pay for it commit to reimbursement that plant management fees according to what we've planned, if such principle is satisfied with the product, and so forth.
Okay.
And also the principal does not accept any risk in terms of crop failure or anything like that. So there's no risk to the stokvel member. There's no other financial contributions required, no membership fees, no nothing like that.
But on the cultivating partner, there is a risk involved because it can have crop failure and load shedding, all these things.
All of the key partners, that is what makes that such a passionate group of people. All of them put their time and their efforts into something in the hope of recovering that from their share of the disbursement of plant management fees.
Okay, that puts it very
as
nice
defined by the Constitution. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, that puts things beautifully into perspective.
Well, that's the best I can do.
No, that is on point.
But read it. Yeah, I think it's better to find there in terms of our club documents and so, which you'll find on the website.
Yeah, so we've got the club constitution and all these documents available on our website as well, the CannaClub.co.za. So thank you very much for your time here today. I don't know if there's any other message you would like to share with our viewers.
I think I said enough for one day.
We keep it at 20 minutes each time.
Wow.
Take little segments.
I'm not making commitments like that, but
yeah,
let's keep it up.
Yeah, nice off record.
And before we go off, I'll sometimes say you're doing a marvelous job, brother. You've done the best job from the day you started. We're lucky to have you, man.
Thank you. I'm just so lucky to have you. Thank you so much.
Joint effort.
Yeah, it's a joint effort, guys.